Hello again, Year 3, and welcome to our science session, which is going to be taking place this afternoon. I hope you guys have had a good morning so far, and I hope you've been getting on with all the different learning. And again, big reminder, do send everything in that you are doing. We want to make sure that you have everything that you need. If you have any questions or need any kind of help, please do pop that into the emails that you do send in. Okay, without further ado, we're going to get straight into our science session today. Now, I know you've already had one bit of a session on this already, so I'm going to get straight into it by sharing my slides. Right, here we go. Our learning intention today is to discover what a nappy is made from. That's quite interesting, quite unusual. Now, today's lesson is going to be very much thinking back to a lot of the stuff that you were doing in Year 1, and that's linking to different materials and why they are used. And in our lesson today, we're going to be thinking about your knowledge of materials, extending that a little bit further, and exploring why different materials are used for different products. And the product we're going to be looking at, as we said in our learning intention, is a nappy. But before we rush into all of that, I want you to have a bit of a moment where you can think back to your previous learning. And I've got 3 things that I want you to explore. The first one is I want you to think back to your previous lesson on light sources. And I want you to list the 3 different light sources that you know. Next, I want you to make a note of how a fossil is made. And the third one is, what is soil made up of? Now, if you don't know the answer to any of these, maybe just try and have a think, or perhaps a little bit of a guess. But if you do know the answer, try to answer as many of these questions as possible with full explanations as well. And do send these in to the email address when you send in all of your work related to science today, please, because we really want to see you recapping your previous learning from your previous units. Pause the video now if you'd like to take a moment to answer those questions. And then when you're ready, play the video and we're going to move on. Here we go. Okay, so we know we use lots and lots of different kind of skills and knowledge when we're doing our science lessons. And in today's session, I really want you to focus on one key skill, and that is your key skill of observation. We know that when you are doing a science lesson, you learn so much, or any lesson to be honest, through what you see and through what you observe, through looking at things with that critical eye, and also maybe sometimes even observing things over time. So today, I want you to really get that skill secure and have a real good think about the kind of things that you're seeing and thinking about why they are that way. So to just get us started with that, I've got a little bit of a new activity for us. In a moment, I'm going to go onto a different screen. And we've done these type of things before in your previous lessons. We're going to have a bit of a zoom in on a different object, something that you've probably seen before, that looks a little bit different, or quite a big bit different, when we are zoomed in on a really close level. So let me just get off this screen, jump into a new screen. Right, hopefully you can all see that okay. Right, what in the world could this be? Have a look at that picture. It's zoomed in very close. Got any guesses? What could it be? I know when we've done this before, we did it on bread, and a lot of you got that really quickly. Is this bread again? I'm not so sure. The colouring is quite brown. I'm seeing lots of creases and ripples. I'm not too sure, actually. I don't think I could have a guess yet. Let's zoom out. Okay, oh, right. What do you notice this time around? First things first, what do you see? If I'm thinking out loud here, you might be doing the same thing. I can see again, lots of kind of light colours, lots of browns, lots of creases, lots of folds. Creases and folds. You sometimes get them on some things like clothes. And this is quite interesting here. This is quite different actually, isn't it? Okay. I'm still not sure. I'm not ready to have a guess yet. Perhaps you have, and if you have, Maybe make a note of it or shout it out. Oh, unusual. Okay. So if it's something that's like a fabric or something like that, it's clearly very, very worn away in some ways. But this material is quite different here. This is very, very different. So whatever this is, it's made of a couple of different materials, something that seems to be very, very flat and something that seems to be a bit maybe softer, can be easily damaged. I'm still not sure. I don't think I'm going to get this one today. Perhaps you've got an idea though, but let's zoom out again. Oh, well, whatever this is, there seems to be a pair of them. What do we have pairs of? Pairs of things like socks, yeah. And socks kind of sometimes have a fabric like this. Perhaps it's something like that. Ooh, maybe not. Okay. Oh, okay. There's definitely a pair then, isn't there? And again, very, very similar, worn away at the tip here. So whatever these are, they get damaged quite a lot at the tip there. We've got this base here, this sole. Oh, well, I never. They are ballet shoes. Now, perhaps you have a pair of these at home, or perhaps you've seen these type of things before, even on TV. But we can see here that, yes, we must have had, if we go back, a hard sole, just like a normal shoe, which we'd need there. But you can just see the tips here have been really, really worn away. And that's because generally ballet dancers, they're on the tips of their toes quite a lot. So that's going to get damaged quite a lot. You can see there just on the tip of their toes in that little final picture. Wowee. How did you do? I hope some of you got it. And if not, don't worry. I hope you had a good chance to think about some different things there and use your observation skills most importantly. Okay, right, that was our practice of using our observation skills. Let's get back into the meat of it today. Okay, so back to our learning intention to discover what a nappy is made from. So first things first, let's show you some pictures of nappies. So we've got a range of different nappies here. Lots of different pictures. Generally, well, first things first, before I start talking, maybe you just want to have a look at these pictures and just maybe write down a couple of things that you notice. What do they have? What do they need? What colours are they? What sizes are they? What materials do you think they are made from? As a good idea, maybe pause the video just now and maybe jot down a couple of your different ideas. Maybe write a few sentences, starting perhaps with, I think a nappy is made from. You can list a different range of materials, maybe put a couple of different explanations as to why you think they are made from that. Pause the video now, make a few notes, and then press play when you're ready to move on. Okay, welcome back. Right, let's have a bit of an investigation now. I'm going to just jump away from this screen because Mr. Foster very kindly handed me this morning a nappy. Wow. Okay, so thinking about those questions I was asking earlier, we're thinking about maybe the size, materials, the colours. So first things first, some of the things that I noticed, you have a very, very light colour. And I suppose you kind of need that kind of light colour because if there's any stains or anything like that, then you're going to need to see them so they can be changed. Got lots of nice little pictures on and patterns, generally quite small because I suppose these nappies are for the baby. But what materials are they made from? Well, looking at the front here, I don't know if you can hear that as well, quite crunchy, but also quite tough. You can see I'm pulling quite hard there, it's not tearing. Now, the material that you have at the front here is kind of like, it's a bit like a plastic or something like that. And I think the reason it's made from that is because you need the front of these nappies to be quite tough. If they are really delicate, if they break away, then they're not going to be very, very good. So you need the front parts to be quite tough. But the inside, if you can see there, well, that feels very, very different. Not sure if you can see there with the camera, but I'm feeling it being a lot more fluffy. Did anyone guess what the inside is often made from? Well, often the inside is made from things like cotton and stuff like that, much like our clothes are. Because if the insides were made of kind of like a tough plastic or something like that, would that be very comfortable to wear? I'm not too sure. I don't think it would be. So we need something that's comfortable to wear, otherwise it really upset the babies that are wearing them. Right, but that's not the only material that we have here. We've got quite a few others. Right, let's see if you can see this here. Right, this is one of the straps that you would fasten the nappy together with. Now, what is happening here? Ooh, you might say that that's stretching. Anyone think of any materials that stretch without breaking? They're quite tough, but still stretch quite a lot. You might be thinking of elastic. And I think that is what this is made from at the moment. So this is a bit of an elastic bit here. And that means that this can stretch around and tighten around a baby's waist without it falling off and being really, really loose. Then also we have another section, which is a fastened section as well. Did you hear that? Hold on, let's see if you can hear that. Does anyone know what that was? It sounded like something was tearing or gripping together. I can put it back on as many times as I want. It seems to still hold there. Well, that might be something that you might have sometimes on your shoes and things like that, and that is something like Velcro. And Velcro means that you can fasten something and it can hold in place for quite a long time without becoming loose, but you can still take it off fairly easily as well. So just to recap, we've got a kind of plastic material at the front there. We've got a kind of soft cotton material in the middle. We have elastic to give it a bit of stretch for when little babies are moving around. And we also have Velcro to fasten it in place. And alongside that, also, there's a lot of stuff on the inside of a nappy. And that is often some different things like crystals and stuff, which absorb any water which comes into place there. And once those crystals absorb that water, it becomes really, really bulky and it holds that water as well. So, you know, if a baby has an accident or something like that, it holds that really, really well. So actually, in a nappy, there's lots and lots of different materials that are being used, and all of them have a specific purpose. So maybe some of you had a couple of different ideas, or I've missed a couple of things out there. And what I would like you to do now as your activity for science today is I would like you to have a go at drawing a diagram of a nappy. And I would like you to add some different labels to provide some different information there. And you may include the things that I mentioned before. And if you forgot those things, go back in the video and you can rewatch that section. Or perhaps you've got an idea of some other different things yourself. Now, okay, there's a bit of a stretch and a bit of a challenge here. I want you to explain the reason each material has been used. Okay, so as well as labeling it, I want you to maybe write a sentence or two explaining why it's been used. So why do we use elastic? Why do we have that Velcro? Why do we have that plastic? Why do we have that cotton? Why do we have those crystals inside the actual nappy itself? And if you want a really, really big challenge today, and this is something I'm really, really keen to see, I would like to suggest some improvements to your nappy design, thinking about the different materials and how they are used. So if you were to design your own Year 3 special kind of design for a nappy, what would you change? Would you add any kind of other different materials? Would you modify it in any way, shape or form? Pause the video now, have a go at that activity. And again, if you're stuck, you can go back in the video and you can rewatch it beforehand. But again, today, our skill that we're using is observation. So thinking in a critical way about all the different things that we have in our nappy there. Pause the video now, because afterwards, I'm then going to show you a couple of things that we've jotted down, just to see if that can help you with your responses as well before you submit them. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Right, so just to go through a few things. So again, we've got Velcro to secure the nappy around the waist. We've got an elastic material so it fits around the waist. Cotton is used because it is soft, ensuring the nappies are also comfortable, and absorbent crystals to absorb any kind of feces or urine or any kind of things like that. So that's the reason we use those different materials there. If you've added any other extra bits as well, then please do include them, and we really look forward to your own submissions as well. Please email them in as soon as you can, and I look forward to seeing what you produce. Hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you all a little bit later. Bye.